it's a parent's nightmare.
I used to be very talkative when I was a little kid, and now I'm just shy and I'd rather not talk to anyone. I'm antisocial now.
Children viciously bullied for their physical appearance. For 14-year-old Nadia Ayal, the bullying started in first grade.
There was this girl, she came up to me and says, "You have the biggest ears I've ever seen." And I'm like, well, I was speechless because I didn't think about it until she said that.
She's heard Dumbo, elephant ears, and much, much worse. 7 years of torment, so withdrawn, still so hard to talk about.
Do you remember the worst sort of taunting or teasing or, whatever? Do you remember a day where that happened?
It happened a lot. Well, it happened so many times that it kind of all blends together that I kind of don't remember.
Nadia was just 10 years old when she asked her mom if she could have surgery to pin her ears back, also known as an otoplasty. She wanted them to stick out less, all in an effort to stop the bullying.
It's been sort of a dark place for you for some time, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's been very depressing.
Her mom, desperate to help, turned to the internet and stumbled across the Little Babyface Foundation. The nonprofit organization offers free plastic surgery for children, like Nadia, who are bullied because of their physical appearance and can't afford an operation.
There may be people, Nadia, who say, "Look, you don't need to do this. This is just who you are. It's the way you were born. People should love people for who they are." What do you say to those folks?
I say that they're right, but it'll never stop. It'll just keep going, get worse and worse.
The foundation flew Nadia and her mother from Georgia to New York City for an all-expense-paid trip to this hospital.
This will be our target ear. So then I'll match it up. I'll match the other ear, which is not as lateralized as this ear.
In her application, Nadia had asked to have her ears pinned back. But Dr. Thomas Romo with the Little Babyface Foundation recommended she change more than just her ears.
I love thin chins, but I don't want them as pointy as that chin. We talked about that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at some pictures of some different people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And their chins come off just a little more square. So that's exactly what we're going to do too.
And there was more.
When I looked up inside her, the whole septum is actually going off this way. As the septum goes, so goes the nose.
She never talked about the nose or the chin before, right?
She did not, because she didn't recognize it.
Dr. Romo says with her ears pinned back, her nose and asymmetrical chin would be more pronounced. He said all three surgeries combined are necessary to balance out Nadia's features.
So any last thoughts as we're going into the OR here?
Nervous, excited.
So in some ways this has been 7 years in the making for Nadia. She just went under, but she tells me she's been dreaming about this day for some time, and now it's all happening for her. So what Dr. Romo is doing is an otoplasty, a reduction rhinoplasty, reducing the size of the nose, and a mentoplasty here on the chin. I think what might surprise a lot of people is about 42% of otoplasties on the ears are done in people under the age of 18.
This 4-hour operation would normally come with a price tag of about $40,000. For Nadia, it's free.
Here in the operating room, when you see what's happening here behind me, it gives you a good idea of just how significant bullying can be. Kids become depressed, they can become anxious. In Nadia's case, she told me it changed her entire personality.
But surgery alone won't wipe away the pain from years of all that bullying. Nadia's mom hopes counseling will be the final step in the healing process. 72 hours post-op. Nadia is still swollen, but cautiously optimistic as Dr. Romo removes the bandages and she sees her new self for the first time.
I look beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted. I love it.
I get a little, I get goosebumps a little bit. Nadia Ayal joins us now in studio. It's so good to see you. You look beautiful and you look happy. How are you feeling?
I feel a lot better emotionally and physically because I can now breathe better, and I feel better about myself.
I want to put up a picture of you, and I want you to comment on this, a split screen before and after the operation. Nadia, I want you to tell me what you see when you look at those images before and after.
Before, I see my ears and my nose and my chin.
So you really focus in on your ears in the before.
Yeah, and on the after, I don't see so much problem with the ears, and now I can finally actually see how beautiful my eyes are.
You do have beautiful eyes. You're beautiful, and you were beautiful before as well. And this is something that we talked about. Are you glad that you had the operation? Do you have any regrets whatsoever?
No regrets. I'm glad I got it done.
Your mom said, and you echoed this as well, that obviously the surgery is one part of this. I mean, that doesn't alone erase the years of bullying that you endured. You're going to go through counseling as well. Have you started that?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to starting.
You're going to see a lot of the same kids, right, that you've been going to school with for some time. You're going to see them when you start school again in the fall. What's that going to be like for you?
It's going to be nervous at first, but I think I can pull it through, and that they'll realize that what they have done, and they'll stop.
You know, there's a lot of parents probably watching who, you know, may worry about their own kids like I worry about mine and your mom worried about you. What would you say to parents out there after all that you've been through now?
Just give your children a lot of love and affection, and tell them that they're beautiful every single day.
Yeah, well, that's really good advice. You know, I think a lot of parents will do. I try and tell my daughters that every single night. It's funny that you mentioned that particular thing. It's good to see you. Like I said, you look great. You look happy, and I'm so delighted for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.